Good morning. I am Kevin Price. Delighted to be with you. Going to spend some time talking to you about you and your business. My first guest is a great one, Marc Krasney. He's been involved with the program for years, many years. In fact, back in an old state, you've gone 3 stations with me over the years, and always delighted to get your perspective on business and the law. And that's exactly what you do. And you take a very interesting, really, I like to call it a preventative approach to legal issues. And tell us just a little bit about your practice before we get into our topic today.
Sure thing, Kevin. It has been a while. I appreciate it. Our practice started, I guess, 9 years ago. I've been a lawyer 17 years, and clients had always asked, what can you do so that I don't get these hourly bills? I still want access to you. What options do you have? Well, I had to go out on my own and offer a new option to clients that they really hadn't seen before, which is more or less a in-house counsel, but you don't hire me full-time. So you pay a monthly rate, and you get access to an in-house counsel as if I was a salaried employee. And it helps so much because clients are able to budget for that one set amount, no surprise billing, and if there's other projects that come forward, lawsuits, whatever, we either handle it for negotiated rate, or we help the client find another lawyer and manage it that way too, staying involved, because clients need to go back to running their business. Let us handle all the legal issues.
Yeah,
so
I'm a big
far, it's worked out pretty well.
I'm a big advocate of this kind of outsourcing in general. People should focus on what they are good at. And so I talk about Carlton staffing all the time in this program. They're regular contributors on the program. Don't focus on HR because you only have HR in order to run your company. Let professionals handle that. Same thing with your legal issues.
And when clients set up their businesses, the thing I say from the very beginning is find a good lawyer and find a good CPA. Yes. Because someone needs to handle the legal issues and someone needs to handle the bean counting and the financial planning.
Exactly. Talk a little bit about your topic today. Introduce that to us. So, and before we do that, it's Krasney, Krasney. That's Krasney, lawfirm.com. Your topic today.
I was thinking about estate planning because with, I think, the market going down, the business market being sort of volatile, so many people are talking about estate planning in my practice and wondering, not just personally, but also with their business, what do they do? And so we sit down with them, talk about not just a will, but trusts and powers of attorney, and what do you do with your business in the event that you're gone? Do you give it to your family members who don't really want it, who might sell it, or do you give it to the manager who's been with you for 20 years? All those things can be addressed in estate planning.
Very good. Talk about, let's break it down. Now talk about the issues that come with estate planning specifically for your business.
Well, with the business, a lot of times it is, hey, I just started a service company. We opened up an LLC. We're doing pretty well. What do I do? Say I'm the owner or the major shareholder. What do I do in the event I died tomorrow or became incapacitated? So we sit down with that business owner and say, what would you like to have happen? Say tomorrow you can no longer do it for whatever reason. What do you want to have happen? Most times, someone's going to say, well, I'd like my son, my daughter to run it. Okay, great. We can put into a will that these stock certificates are going to go to that particular person. Or in Texas, it's not required that you give things to family members. Say you're my manager, and Kevin, you worked for me for 20 years. I want to give you the company. Fine. I can put into a will that this stock is going to go to you, and it's going to bypass the family. The family has nothing to say about it. In fact, what we can put into the will is they call them an interim clause, which simply says if you contest the will, family, whoever, you get nothing. And so a lot of those different thought processes can be written, documented, and placed into a will and validated at probate.
Yeah, very good. And so obviously you need to know going into the process what your objectives are.
Exactly. And most people think about it. They'll talk about it on vacation. They'll say, I'll get to it next week. It really requires someone to come in and talk to a lawyer and discuss what the options are. And not everything has to be a long, drawn-out process. It's not going to cost thousands of dollars to put together something. In fact, most of your listeners who have a simple estate, if they just write down on a piece of paper wholly in their handwriting, that's called a holographic will. I want X to go to Y. Signed, Kevin Price. If that's written totally in your handwriting, that will by itself can be probated in Texas. So it didn't require me drafting anything. So long as it's not typewritten, there's no fill-in-the-blank form. If it's wholly in that person's handwriting, that can be probated in Texas. And there's a new thing I wanted to talk about, too, in your show. Say some of your listeners have a small estate. You know, there's really not much. There's a couple of bank accounts, but all those things, all that money can go by contract. A couple of life insurance policies, that money goes by contract, not probate law. But I have a house, and that house needs to go to somebody. So that you don't have to go through the probate process, last year the legislature has allowed for a payable on death deed. So say, I have a house, I want to give it to you. That's the only other asset that could perhaps go by probate. We literally today can put together a deed that says, upon my death, my house, my real property will go to Kevin Price. That gets filed, and say I die tomorrow, those bank accounts go by contract law, the life insurance goes by contract law, and now I have this deed that's payable on death. That also goes by contract law or real property law because this deed is recognized, and then I've completely avoided the probate process. That's a pretty cool thing the legislature did.
Can you send me a copy of that by the end of business today, by the way?
Oh, the deed, of course.
Sorry, I couldn't resist. Phenomenal information, very practical and very important, you know, and people really need to be thinking about this in advance. They shouldn't be waiting until someone's really ill or, and then they're doing everything out of an emotional state or even worse, try to think about what to do after someone has passed away without the planning. So it's very important. That's why you need to learn more by contacting Mark. Check out his webpage, KrasneyLawFirm.com. Yes, sir. Thanks so much.
KrasneyLawFirm.com.
Yeah, KrasneyLawFirm.com. Marc Krasney, thanks for being with us.
Thank you.
Got much more for you. I do want to remind you the show continues 24/7 at priceofbusiness.com. This week on a national TV program, my interview with the publisher of Forbes magazine, Steve Forbes. Make sure you check that out on the Biz TV network. Stay tuned for more.